What's going on with y'all? Swoop and Score back at you with more. I know it's been a hell of a long time since I've even put any videos out here. Stuff came up in life that, you know, life happens. Car broke down in Pennsylvania. For those of you who don't know, I live in Baltimore. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. So my car broke down up in Pennsylvania. Had to get towed home. Come to find out, they fixed the car, got it back. Had to get towed home a second time. Allegedly, it jumped timing. Had to get a new vehicle. In the process of getting a new vehicle, my dog had got sick, so had to go tend to him. Used up my PTO and stuff like that, man. Had to jump back into work. Been studying to become a realtor and all that other stuff like that too. I tried to move out. Wife ended up losing her place of work. Um, and in the midst of us and all of that, we're having twins. But the story, it takes another wild twist. Is the new car that I ended up getting. Long story short, that one ended up having battery issues, so I had to go get that taken care of as well too. But here we are. We're in the process of recovering. She found herself a new place to work. Praise God for all that. Still been able to hold down the fort, for as much as I've been able to. But hey, here we are again. So I know this has been like some months. It's the last one I did. I think the last one I did was about the NFL draft. So here we are, training camp. Training camp. I want to touch bases on a couple of things. I'm gonna start with the elephant in the room, Jalen Hurts. I see so many people rag on Jalen Hurts left and right, and the majority of the people who I see rag on him are guys who didn't even follow him when he was in college. It's like, oh well, and then some of the guys who did follow him in college called him a coward because he left Alabama after coming back for his junior season and competing in spring ball against Tua. Tua was handed the reins. Now he could have left. He could have left right then and there after spring ball, but he chose to stick it out. And it's good for Alabama that he did because when Tua went down in that SEC game against Georgia, the team that in the national championship the year prior that Jalen Hurts had got yanked for in favor of Tua, he went back out there and won that SEC championship game, bringing all of this full circle. So I don't. And Tua was struggling that game if you watched it. So I don't want to hear that. The Jalen Hurts hate is unwarranted. It's unnecessary. Everybody wants Deshaun Watson. Listen, I'm a person who believes you're innocent until proven guilty, as opposed to the status quo now where you're guilty before being proven innocent. Um, I can't sit here and say that Deshaun Watson did this and that. I think that it's what I will say is this. I find it oddly convenient. I find it oddly convenient that Houston now all of a sudden has all these, outrageous allegations coming out against, Deshaun Watson in the midst of him requesting a trade. That's just a little too perfect for me. How all that plays out. So my thing is this: until Deshaun Watson's name is cleared, until he can clear his name, I think it would be in the best interest of Philadelphia to steer clear from him until the man has had, his name cleared. So that's what I'll say about that. Um, but on just on the subject of Jalen Hurts, the Jalen Hurts hate is unnecessary. What do you hate? What was the hate for Jalen Hurts about, huh? Oh well, he didn't play good enough. He only played 4 games with no preseason. He didn't even have a full training camp. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? My God. Um, I like our chances with Jalen Hurts. And I've followed him ever since he was a freshman at Alabama. Oh, he didn't win the national championship. Means that first of all, his first season, truth be told, he should be a 3-time NCAA champion. He should be a 3-time national championship winner because that first year when he got them as a freshman, If the defense could have just stopped Deshaun Watson and Hunter Henry, we wouldn't have this problem. Wouldn't be having this issue. Oh, well, he couldn't throw. If you look at his stats every single year as a quarterback, he got better every time he was the starter. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So someone out there just want to be known. You just have to, you gotta put yourself out there, making these ludicrous videos about you look at his throwing motion, his mechanics, this and that. They say it about everybody. So I mean, it is what it is. People thought Josh Allen was gonna be a bust. People thought Lamar Jackson was gonna be a bust. Nobody and before y'all say anything, nobody knew who Patrick Mahomes was when he came out of Texas Tech. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. You wasn't talking about no Patrick Mahomes coming out no Texas Tech. You wasn't talking about him. I ain't trying to hear that. So yeah, I'm a huge I'm definitely a Jalen Hurts supporter. And I stand by the guy. Yeah, I stick with Jalen Hurts because I like his character. I like his attitude, the leadership. I think he's a leader of men, but he's one of those guys, not just a vocal leader, but he leads by example. So his work ethic is unbridled. I will say that. Not just in the weight room, but just how he gets together with the wide receivers, which is a perfect segue because I saw an article today. It's talking about wide receivers that's on the bubble. One of those wide receivers that might be on the practice squad bubble is a guy that was drafted last year, John Hightower. Surprise, surprise. Now, I may not be a fan of Boise State. I don't really care for Boise State. I don't care about Boise State. They don't really produce too many guys that have lasted long enough in the NFL. Outside of Jay Ajayi, maybe Doug Martin. I mean, you had Titus Young and Austin Pettis, Kellen Moore, but who's paying attention to that? That aside, John Hightower to me was a guy I could see showing some sort of promise. I like the guy. I'd like him to succeed, but what I will say is, as far as that wide receiver room grows, I mean, as far as it goes, I'm sorry, Quez Watkins, man, Quez is doing his thing. Quez, you can tell Quez put in that time during the offseason. Quez wanted this. Quez really wants this. Now, I'm not the hugest Jalen Reagor fan. Like, when they drafted him last year, I go on record saying that I didn't know who the hell Jalen Reagor was and why the hell did you draft Jalen Reagor when Justin Jefferson was there? Yeah, I'm that guy too. So we knew Dallas was going to do some sissy-fied stuff when they decided to take CeeDee Lamb, and that's cool. I mean, it is what it is. It's ball. I don't care. But yeah, the Jalen Reagor thing. It looks like he's starting to come around in practice. I think I'm not going to say it's too early to tell, but I think that Jalen Reagor could definitely turn it around. We'll see. The first preseason game is this Thursday. Since we're sticking on the offensive side of the ball, let's talk about the line. Andre Dillard is out. Andre Dillard's injured right about now, which means he will be losing some first-team snaps. Jordan Mailata is a guy that's going to... I mean, even if Andre Dillard wasn't injured, I'm going to be for real. Andre Dillard was going to lose this spot to Jordan Mailata anyway, just from the mere fact that he was getting bullied and punished in practice by the likes of Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett. It was ridiculous. But Jordan Mailata, you need guys on the offensive line that are animals. You need guys that's going to be out there and willing to throw down with that defensive line. Or anybody that's coming on a blitz, you need some guys that's out there that's willing to go out there, grit their teeth together, and punch you in your face, bang you in your mouth. You need that. I don't think Andre Dillard possesses that bloodlust that you need on that in the offensive line. I don't think he has that. What I will say is this. I still think the offensive line is an area of concern for the Eagles. I do. it will be something to see Landon Dickerson get out there. I wasn't the biggest fan when they drafted him either, just because it's a lineman who, when healthy, is a complete animal. But you see, this is the problem with this pitch patch offensive line. How many more years are we going to constantly subject those behind that offensive line to this pitch patch stuff? I'm not the biggest fan of Matt Pryor. I don't like Matt Pryor. I don't think Matt Pryor can put it all together. I don't. And when I'm proven otherwise, trust me, y'all will be the first to know. Um, Another thing is, when you have an opportunity to, you got to take advantage of the opportunity presented before you, because like I said, with Andre Dillard, the issue is your first round selection. So you being a first round selection, I mean, dog, you got to go out there and you got to handle it. And he just has never proved that. He just, if you listen to him in the interviews, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a nice guy, being a silent destroyer. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But it's just like, he's a little soft spoken. Soft spoken, to say the least. It's just like, when you hear him talk, it doesn't sound like he fully believes in himself. But I will say this: Brandon Brooks was like that at first. Brandon Brooks acted just like that. Will Andre Dillard put it together? I hope so. I hope so. I don't want to rag on him. I don't want to hate on him or nothing like that. But I hope Andre Dillard does put it together. I really do. Because it'd be to the benefit of all of us. Not only just the team, but to him as well. This is how he earned it. This is how he's earning it. So there's that. And then defensively, since I was on the defensive side of the line, we'll talk about that too. Man, Josh Sweat. I seen this. We seen a lot of this last year too. Josh Sweat really has stepped his game up. Hell, even Derek Barnett isn't doing so, making a case. I just don't think. But if I had to pick between the two, it's a distance enough to where I can definitely put Josh Sweat over there. And I believe Derek Barnett was a first round selection as well too. So with Derek Barnett being a first round selection, you let this guy Josh Sweat, who was not a first round selection, come from where they drafted him and run the risk of taking your spot, it's something else. I will say, I did like the addition of Steven Nelson, and I like the combination of Steven Nelson and Darius Slay. I feel like Philadelphia could easily have the best cornerback duo in the division. I want to see it gel more. I do like Zach McPherson stepping it up as well too, and in practice. But but thankfully we do get preseason this time, because now it gives you a chance to see where a lot of these guys really are at and what you have in other guys as well too. So we get a glimpse of that. I'm happy that Travis Fulgham is still playing like a dog. Iron sharpening iron, man, because him and Darius Slay been going back at it with one another, and I like that. This is what you need. You need that type of atmosphere. You need that type of atmosphere where you have guys wanting to, shut down the other dude, regardless of whether or not you playing on the opposite side of the ball, whether or not we play for the same team. I want to shut you down. So there's that. And then, to put it mildly, I think that the backfield a bit crowded, but see, I like Miles Sanders. I do, but too many reports is coming out. Miles Sanders ain't holding on to that ball. Miles Sanders is not holding on to that ball. So if I can't utilize you in the running game because you're fumbling, let's try to pass. But once again, he's dropping passes. So it's like he's falling down the depth chart. And then you got guys like Huntley, who's moving up. I believe Kenneth Gainwell is another guy who's moving up as well. where they may in fact hold Jordan Howard as one of those guys who's on that short yardage situation. I'm kind of hoping they don't do that. I'm kind of hoping they don't, because I'd like to see Jordan Howard get out there and get his legs back under him. And I know a lot of people like, Jordan Howard might be a little past his prime. Jordan Howard ain't past there. Jordan Howard's not past there yet. I mean, he was the offense in Chicago. That offense ran through him in Chicago. Now they tried to do the same thing with Tariq Cohen, but I mean, look how that turned out. Just look how it turned out. Now, heading into this game heading into this preseason game we got coming up Thursday against the Steelers, I'd like to see John Hightower make his case. I'd like to see him step it up because he can be used as a deep ball threat. I'd like to see Quez Watkins continue to shine. Travis Fulgham as well. Zach McPherson. We get a first glimpse of Steven Nelson in the Eagles uniform. And that defensive line. Now, I did read somewhere that Milton Williams and Marcus or Marlon Tuipulotu were getting kind of like bullied by I think the likes of Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson. So I think I did read somewhere about that. So I don't know. They're gonna have to find their killer instinct on that defensive line too. Those two in particular. But so far from what I've seen, I like what I saw from Philadelphia. I do enjoy what I've seen so far in practice, because everybody was so quick to hate on Jalen Hurts. I'm like, so why didn't where was all of this where was all this talk when the offense was abusing the defense for the majority of the of training camp? Where was all of this at? It's like y'all couldn't just wait to jump on. See, I had to stop watching stuff like Undisputed because they feed you a narrative every single time. So that's my take for today. I will be definitely doing my part to try to upload a lot more and bring more information to you all. But as always, until there's more, I'll see y'all later. Till next time, y'all be easy.